Diddy had always loved the dark. It was his ally, his cloak, his weapon. A master at his craft, he had perfected the art of kidnapping. Grab them, hide them, demand a ransom, and vanish. Simple, clean, effective. But this time, something felt wrong. The rain outside tapped against the windows, filling the silence of the small, isolated house where Diddy had stashed his latest victim, Sarah. She was like all the others, young, scared, vulnerable. She hadn't screamed or begged for mercy. She'd been eerily quiet, watching him with a calm that unsettled him. He couldn't shake the feeling that she wasn't afraid, but he should be the one in control, not her. Diddy walked into the room where she was locked up. The ropes were still tied, the chains securely fastened, the door shut tight. But Sarah, she was gone. His heart skipped a beat. Diddy's mind raced. He checked every corner, every crevice. How had she escaped? How? But then he heard it, a faint noise, soft footsteps, behind him. He spun, his knife already in hand. But there was no one there, just the shadows. He slowly backed up, his pulse quickening. Every creak of the floorboard felt like a warning. Was this a setup? Had someone been watching him all along? Then, in the far corner of the room, he saw her, Sarah, standing completely still, facing the window. Diddy's breath hitched. How had she gotten there so silently? Sarah, he whispered, his voice a low growl. You think you can get away from me? But she didn't respond. Diddy took slow, deliberate steps toward her, the knife gripped tightly in his hand. He was close now, so close. He could almost taste the fear, but something felt off. Her back was still to him, and then she moved, but not in a way he expected. In a blur, she was gone. Diddy spun around, his heart racing. The room was empty, the door still locked. But then his eyes caught something, a chair pushed to the side, and something smeared across it. Blood. Diddy's stomach twisted. He stepped closer, dread building in his chest. 3 words were written in the blood. I know you. His blood ran cold. How? How did she know? Suddenly the door slammed shut with a deafening thud. Panic surged through him. His breathing grew shallow. The feeling of being watched, the feeling of being hunted, was too real now. It wasn't paranoia, it was happening. Diddy spun around again. This time he heard footsteps, but they weren't Sarah's. They were coming from the shadows. Before he could react, a hand shot out, grabbing his wrist, twisting it so violently that his knife slipped from his grasp. The voice came from the darkness, soft, chilling. Thought you could hide forever. Diddy's heart pounded in his chest. He spun, trying to pull free, but his body froze when he saw her face. Sarah wasn't the terrified victim. She was the predator. And now, she was in control. You were never in charge, she said, her voice calm, almost mocking. Diddy realized, with a cold jolt of fear, that she had been playing him all along. Every step he took, every move he made, it was part of her plan. And now, it was too late. As the shadows closed in around him, Diddy knew it was over. There was no escape. And Sarah, she was already gone.